Welcome to the Freedom Property Podcast, the modern real estate brand empowering excellence. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back, Freedom Property Podcast show. Aimon, what would you like to speak about today, mate?
So much we could talk about, but Josh, today I think, there's so much to being a successful agent, successful, business person. And I think what's not talked about very much is what you're doing, not only inside, but also outside of work to actually ensure that you are a successful agent in the times that you are an agent. So what are the kinds of things that you're doing outside of work to ensure that you are a successful agent when you're at work?
It's good timing you bring this up. Yeah, we got ARIC on this weekend.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's the Australian Real Estate Conference. You ever been?
Not myself, no.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I went actually, the first time I've ever been was last year. So it's 2 full-on days of just learning and hearing from some of the best speakers in Australia, some of the best real estate agents, and not just real estate agents as well. Last year they had some pretty cool guests on. This year they got Matthew McConaughey. He's going on there.
Oh, like in person?
I hope so. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll probably end up being a Skype one, but still it'll be awesome. And then you on the breaks you can mingle with the other agents and meet people that maybe you haven't met before. Like you see them all the time on like the socials or whatever.
Yeah.
On the break, you have a cup of tea and go say hello to these people and pick their brain as well. So that's interesting. And then they also in the breaks have like when you're doing lunch and stuff, they give you time to go and explore all the new features and all the new products that are coming from all of these prop tech companies. So you go into this big room and then they've got all these little stalls and you can go around and ask, how they can help your business and where they can provide value to you. So it's pretty cool.
A real estate agent festival, you might say.
Yeah. It's I'm looking forward to it. It's cool just because there's so many real estate agents that you see around, around the traps, but you never get a chance to meet them in person. So you see them there and you're like, oh, I'm going to go speak to that person.
Yeah.
Pick their brain a little bit, just quickly fire off 3 questions at them and just just things that you want to know about real estate. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. So it's timely. Yeah, we'll probably have heaps to talk about over the next few weeks after going to ARIC. But yeah, it's.
So you're saying these are the kinds of events that you go to ensure that you just keep up to standard, always learning the new stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So I do a few different things, and obviously. That's what real estate is, isn't it? It's the improvement game, as we've spoken about before. If someone wants to give you, their commission, if someone wants to spend 3-4 weeks with you, then they better like you. So, you better provide some value to the sellers' lives. You better be motivational for the buyers to buy the home. So, yeah, you need to keep sharp. You need to keep on your toes, and you got to keep improving. You're big on that. You're big on the old improvement game. You're always putting yourself out there and trying new things.
Yep.
The audience probably doesn't even realize a lot about your life.
Yeah, I've got my own podcasts, MetaMinds podcast. Shout out.
Yeah, 100%.
100 strong episodes or so. So
you've had heaps of people on that. I've listened to a few of those episodes, and they're just all different people from different walks of life.
Yeah, it's crazy. And some of the people that come on and then they've got a book and they give us their book for free because they're a guest on our podcast or whatever. And then we listen to that book and it's actually crazy. So many of the people that have come on and then, we read their book, the way Dan and I, he's the other podcast host, talk is we actually use their language still to this day. So it's crazy. Some of the stuff we pick up from our guests, we're still integrated into our everyday lives. So
nice. So that's the MetaMinds podcast.
That's it. Yeah.
It's a cool podcast. I also Rich Dad podcast, the Robert Kiyosaki.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if you listen to that one. That's awesome. Obviously, very American style, but you can work that all into our Australian market as well. Same with the Cardone Zone, Grant Cardone. He's a bit full on. Not everybody likes his style, but he's to the point. He gets it done.
Yeah, especially for salespeople. When I was first starting out in business, when I was 17, I probably wasn't ready for his books, but the amount of just the way he drills it in, you're this guy knows what he's talking about. And
the closing, teaching you how to close people, because that's so important in real estate. Once you really master the close, that's when your business can really change and your income can really change, because when you're always trying to close people, then, that's the person they really want in front of their buyer. Surely I would have thought so anyway. I feel like if you don't, if you're at an inspection with a buyer and you don't try and close them, or if you're at a listing presentation and you don't try and close the seller, then maybe that buyer or seller doesn't respect you as an agent. So I think, learning how to close, it's so important. But speaking of ARIC, that's held by John McGrath and Tom Panos, and they've got a really cool podcast as well called $1 Million Agent. That's a good one.
Is that like weekly or?
They were doing it weekly. They've slowed down a little bit, but there's heaps on there. There's heaps. There's so many episodes. So like you can dive into that as real estate agents. So again, agents, we're just trying to provide you with some value here. Some of the things that we listen to, some of the things that we like to go to and, help us improve. So that $1 Million Agent podcast show, that's cool. And then like on a life one, I like the Ed Milet show. He's pretty good.
Oh, I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, he's cool. He used to be like a professional baseball player. He's like a bit of a gym junkie. He's a beast, but he's like a bit of a sweetheart too, like he's a legend.
Yeah.
So, and he gets like real powerful people on and spiritual, and just has an hour-long interview with them. And yeah, it's cool. I love this whole podcast world, eh?
Yeah, I probably listen to like 3 a day. I listen to them on like 2 times speed. One on my morning walk, like one in the car in between shoots, and then, one in the gym. Like, yeah, I just love it. Like just always having something in your ear, and podcasts, because they're casual, you don't have to be like so super attentive listening to them. So like every now and then you pick up something, you're like, oh, that's important. And then, if you tune out, it's not, the end of the world.
That's it. Like sometimes we're doing these podcasts and we're like, what should we even talk about? Like it's not, we will get a little bit more structure with our planning, but it's just good to have a chat sometimes and just get things off your mind, hey, and just also practice being here in this environment, like being ready for when these agents come in to know how to handle them as well, because everyone's got a different story, don't they? What podcasts are you listening to?
Heaps of like self-development ones. Like Rich Roll is a big one. Aubrey Marcus, he gets a little bit woo-woo sometimes, but he's got some good guests on
the acid, eh?
Yeah. So like he's always talking about John and stuff like that. But I couldn't even tell you. There's so many that I listen to, but nice. Mostly audiobooks as well, to be honest.
Yeah, awesome.
But I suppose like what we're talking about is like, if you didn't listen to like do these kinds of self-development practices, be it going to the gym, listening to podcasts, like you would just stay at the knowledge base you're at and you'd attack every day with that same knowledge base. And then if something started not working, like you wouldn't know what to do, there's not extra information like coming in from the outside. Like,
yeah, I think a lot of young people listen to this podcast show as well. And, when you're young, that's the negative that people have of you, is that you're young and you're inexperienced. Yeah. So if you can fast track that by learning and, getting a good education, and these days it's so easy because you've got all this content available for you. Yeah. You can sit at home and just cram through heaps of stuff, on YouTube, on podcasting. You can go to seminars. Like there's so many places you can learn. There's so many people willing to give you that information in real estate as well. Real estate is such a generous industry where, I think all of the better agents around town would happily like have a coffee with you and, answer any questions. I know they would.
Yeah, the ones that are like, trying to keep all the secrets to themselves. It's the same with like video for me, I put up YouTube tutorials because I'm like, there's no secrets. Like, because it's like if I give away all my secrets and then I got to learn the next thing, what I mean? That's what's going to push me to that,
Yeah. Do you have any like life coaches?
I have in the past, but not at the moment. And they're kind of like life/business coaches. But yeah, I found like the biggest thing when I have had them, because obviously they are quite a financial investment, that's the commitment. Yeah. And like I listen to Russell Brunson, he's like a marketing wizard. That actual financial commitment, like, if we had a coach and he was like the best coach in the world, but he was like, I'll give you 2 weeks free, you just wouldn't value it.
That's it.
But because you put that financial commitment down, you're like, I'm going to listen to everything you have to say and implement everything you say, or at least be open to it. So that's been some of the most developing like months of my life when I have had, coaches and mentors. Like,
if you're prepared to throw down $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 on a coach for a couple of months, that's
you got to get value out of it. Like.
Definitely, yeah. It's and you'll get that back for sure.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like when you go into a listing presentation, like if a seller isn't prepared to spend marketing on their home, like are they really that motivated to sell it?
Yeah.
Do they really want to sell their property, or they just want to waste your time for 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks?
Especially if there's other agents coming in saying we'll take 8 photos for you for free. It's like
absolutely,
which is easy. Yeah. But what about you? Do you have any coaches at the moment, or?
Yeah, like I've got a good family, obviously, with my old man there. He's a legend. So he's always advising me, little bits and pieces about the business behind the scenes. But I've got like life motivational coaches, people like Nick Stewart, who I've been working with on and off over the years. He's really cool guy. Shout out Nick if you're watching. Also, I've recently signed up to a group called Mastermind with Sherry Storer. She's lovely. She's a really nice lady, very big agent back in her day, and now she's in the training space. And the thing I like about Sherry Storer's mastermind group there was that I was looking for like more people in the similar sort of zone to me right now to hang out with, because, you know, real estate, it can be lonely sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, we're all in this together for sure, but everyone's doing it slightly differently. You're all doing your own thing. And I'm in this space right now where I'm like, I'd like to meet some other business owners and people who are trying to build teams and, you know, managing teams and all that type of stuff. So that's what this group's given me. There's about 30 people in this group, in this room, and it's very interactive. And, you know, it's not like Sherry standing at the front training everybody. It's like a big group of people that are all vibing off each other. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. And again, that obviously keeps you sharp in terms of like, yeah, as you said, like, it's pretty lonely. Like, you're going in trying to do everything that you can with the knowledge you have at this time. But if you like, you know, you could just meet these people and like someone will say something like, oh, why didn't I think of that? Like, that's obvious, but you can't think of it by yourself, you know?
Yeah, definitely. She gets like good speakers at those events too. There was last week we went, and we do this once a month, and Jonathan Thurston was there. He was cool. And then the one before that was, I always forget this guy's name. He's like he's the lead. He runs the ballet at in Brisbane. But yeah, I'm not a ballet person, but
obviously,
it did have an effect on me at the time. It's but yeah, it's like everything that you take out of these inspiring people who are like top of their game, you know, like they're all just beasts, you know, like workhorses, just get things in, get it done, surround themselves with good people, and just, you know, they're always learning, you know. That's what a coach is really, eh? It's like someone to keep you accountable, I reckon.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Sometimes like coaches that I have invested in haven't actually been that much further along than myself, but it's almost just like, just someone to, you know, because it's so easy. Like, you know, when you're giving advice to somebody else, it's so easy for you to see what's wrong with them, but you can't see what's wrong with yourself.
Absolutely.
So when someone's just there to call you out on it, you're like, yeah, you're right. I know, but I needed you to tell me, you know.
And your business as well. You know, like it's, life is the most important one. You need to nail that. But sometimes in real estate, we have our real estate business and we don't even realize where our holes are because, you know, we haven't got that advice and support. Like we've got at Freedom Property, we've got Randall Curry, who is the CEO of the property platform. So he helps us basically grow this brand, you know. So
absolute wizard.
Yeah, he's like a coach for the Freedom brand, you know. So yeah, he's been awesome to have. So if there's any people out there who are trying to build their real estate businesses right now, I'd definitely try and connect to Randall Curry from the property platform. He'd be a good connection for you as well. So
cool. And so, you know, you're doing all this stuff outside of work and within work to, you know, develop and stay sharp. Like, how do you bring that into Freedom and then, like, you know, be the coach for all the Freedom agents?
We're sort of just making it up as we go along, eh?
Don't say that. It's lying.
Nah, we're just, look, it's about being prepared to fail, I reckon. Like, you might listen to this podcast right now and not like it. That's cool. We'll get in that one next weekend, hopefully like that one, you know, like it's just about putting yourselves out there and just going for it, you know, like we're doing these podcasts every week now, and we're also recording all of our training that we're doing, you know, not just with us, but with the guest speakers that come in, because I want to have like a backlog of training videos when new agents start with us, so then they can just catch up and just learn as much as possible, you know, so don't want to waste any opportunity there. So yeah, just trying to do smart things like that, you know. It's I've filmed my listing prayers, I've filmed, you know, how to handle buyers. We're going to do basically a big rundown soon from start to finish of everything that we do in this business, and put a little training program in play for, you know, the new agents that are starting as well. So yeah, just trying to do a little stuff like that really.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, just always trying things is what I'm hearing. And you know, that's obviously what we're doing with this podcast and all this sort of different stuff as well. And it's definitely working, and it, you know, brings self-awareness to us as well in terms of like, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? What could we be doing better, you know?
Yeah, it's cool because obviously as we grow this brand, we're about to start a big recruitment push for Freedom Property, and I have employed a very nice lady who's going to be joining us soon, soon as a recruiter, and she's going to start in a month or so. But because we've got all these videos and because I've got all of these podcasts, she can learn a lot more about our journey and what we are about as a team, like without me having to sit with her and train her all this stuff, do we? So I'm just like, just make sure your homework's up to date, you know what I mean? And she did. When I met her, she came in, she knew what she was talking about, and yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to think where we're at right now with this stuff and the way the future's moving. Like, we're going to drop a new model on Freedom Property soon. A more beneficial model for not just the agents but property managers as well. A more rewarding model for them. We've already got a very rewarding model as it is right now, but we're going to improve this model again and give back to the agents even more than what they're getting now. So yeah, hopefully going to launch this in the next few months, and it's going to be exciting to bring this new real estate model to the market.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excited to hear more about it. Is there any more like updates that's happening? Anything else that's new in Freedom or?
A few new agents as well, if you're listening. A few new agents on the Sunshine Coast, which has been exciting. So welcome aboard. Looking forward to, like I say, always making statements on these new people's homes. New agents' businesses, new people's homes.
Well, you're an agent.
That just ran off the tongue there.
Yeah, you're so natural.
No, but any agent that joins us, I just want to make sure that we nail their business, from start to finish. So I'm excited to see what we can do there with them. But yeah, I'm just happy right now. It's just a good time in real estate. It's a good time for us personally. And looking forward to just continuing this growth. So yeah, I think I'm glad that we had this chat before Arik, because I think after Arik.
Yeah, I'd be keen to see what knowledge you bring back. I'll have some questions for sure.
And people as well. Like, if you're listening to this podcast this week, obviously we've got Arik on Wednesday. If you see us at Arik and you want to have a chat, then please pop over and say hello. And yeah, let's make it happen. I'm also keen to get some more people onto this podcast show soon outside of Freedom Property.
Yeah, for sure.
I think to start with, obviously what we've wanted to do is just basically test it out, get a bit of a feel, see what it's like doing a podcast, and then over time get some exterior agents in and just find out what they're doing, you know what I mean? Pick their brains and improve our businesses again. So
there you have it. If you're out there and you want to be on the podcast, you want to have a chat to Josh, definitely let us know. Hopefully you got some value out of this podcast. And there's the updates from Freedom at the moment.
Let's go again. We'll see you next week.
Episode.
Peace.